there were a number of cars that were following them, also protesters, and once they got here, they massed again in between the city jail and the Oklahoma City Police Department, and something happened that caused the police officers to disperse tear gas.
We can hear it, Dylan. We can't make out what exactly is being said, but we can hear.
Mecca, they're basically just telling people, do not resort to violence. It's so hard to hear, though, and this was what happened before, was there were these announcements over the loudspeaker. Crowds were not able to hear, and then
it's about the lives lost. That's why they're angry, and no one understands that. But at the same time, what are we supposed to do?
All right, we gotta back up. So they have thrown something into the crowd. Obviously, this has been gas before, so we are backing up, and that is obviously, we are here. Okay, I gotta back up even further here, because they've actually thrown these much farther into the crowd than probably was entirely necessary, because this is out into the street. So there were some of these that were actually thrown past where the crowd was and behind them. Officers coming down the street, people jumping in front of the cars, speeding down the street here, coming through the crowd. There's dozens of people in the street.
We want to flip here and get over to Sky 5 pilot Chase Rutledge. Chase, you're seeing something very different. Where did you move to and what's happening? It appears, is this a police car or a car on fire?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mecca. So when those police cars made their way with their sirens going, we followed them to an area where there was some activity, there were some protesters there, and this is at the entrance to the city jail.
What have you seen so far? Obviously, you're administering first aid. What have you seen so far?
I just saw a person with their head completely gashed open.
What happened?
I was just standing there with my husband. We were peaceful protesting with our hands up to not shoot, and they went ahead and just started shooting us.
And you were hit right here?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was hit.
Are you okay?
It hurts extremely bad. It started to bleed, and it's starting to swell. And there's another girl I know got hit, and she's bleeding out the back of her leg.
Okay. We are watching now a fire that has been, and I have mixed mine, as just so the booth knows, so I'm going to take my IFB out here for a minute. We are watching a fire that has been ignited here just north of the municipal court building here in downtown Oklahoma City. It appeared to have been set by one of those gas canisters. Is that what you saw, Chris?
We saw tear gas, and then we saw the tree on fire.
Oh my goodness. Okay, police are pointing. Chris. Police are pointing the long, non-lethal rifles at press and at protesters here, telling us to get back from the scene. Mm-hmm. So we're going to comply and move to the east here, and there's now been a confrontation up the street here. Whoa.
Now we're seeing what looks like a building possibly on fire. Can't see flames right now, but heavy smoke, Chase.
Yeah, that's right, Mecca. This is right at 12th and Western. So right off of Classen, right where 13th splits off at Classen and Western, kind of come to a Y. We saw a presence of emergency vehicles here. We came over, and the fire department has been called to a fire here at this location. We don't know if this is part of a protest or part of the protest or not, or if this just happens to be happening here.
But you can see him here helping people, and you're seeing the crowd disperse, Mecca, because they just deployed even more tear gas, and yeah, it's settling to the back of my throat, and it's obviously getting closer to several. Okay, we're seeing another scene right here. Caleb, can we show this? I'm not sure at what extent of these injuries there are. The certified medic is here helping. He's the man in the white shirt. He did not want to give us his name on camera. He said that it's not about him, but you can see that he is helping people. Let's see. Okay, it looks like this man got hit in the stomach by some sort of material. It doesn't look like there's any blood, but he is on the ground. We're going to move back a safe distance. We just had to show you what's going on. Okay,
here's what's happening. So they are firing the tear gas out at people, and then protesters are running and taking cones and putting it on top of the canisters.
It at this point doesn't look organized. And it does appear, Chase, that people, well, see, what do we have going here? Are people tearing down a sign? Chase?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And see, it doesn't take long for something like that to happen.
Why are you still out here after all of this?
Yes, because we hurt. We're really hurt. This was the last straw for us. This is the last black person that they done killed that we hurt. Imagine all the people that don't get news coverage, all the black brothers and sisters that don't get news coverage that have been killed by the police. We are hurt. We got to stand for something or we're going to fall for anything. They can do this to us again tomorrow.
Dylan.
Sorry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. People keep trying to pick it up and throw it back at the police. See, somebody just picked up one of the canisters, threw it back at police, hit an officer's riot gear. Oh, I gotta back up again. But somebody did throw a canister back at police, hit the riot gear, kind of fell to the ground, and that's what. And people were already dispersing backwards, but that's when people kind of rushed backwards much more quickly. And you can see, from Chris's shot there, you can see the police, but you can see the gas billowing into the air there, and that has continued to be tear gas, and that seems to be the only thing that will drive people back. You can see a man with his hands up in the street. Oh my gosh, and there it is again. Protesters just standing there. Obviously, they've been told to disperse. They've been ordered repeatedly to disperse. Protesters just standing there, and that gas was fired into those protesters. A man was standing in the street with his hands up. An officer had a non-lethal weapon pointed at him. Very tense moments with that. But of course, and then they'll throw. Oh, we gotta move because they're gonna throw back this way. The protesters will pick up that gas and then we'll pick up that gas and then we'll throw it back at the police.
Peaceful protests turning violent 2 straight nights in downtown Oklahoma City. Police trying to disperse protesters with tear gas. I'm Evan Onstadt, live downtown where things are much quieter today. We have live team coverage tonight.
And thank you for watching tonight at 5 o'clock. I want to welcome you into the studio. I'm Jessica Shambach.
Good evening to you. I'm Abigail Ogle. We have a team of reporters covering this from every angle.
From new demands today by the Black Lives Matter OKC group to police who were prepared to fight back and a local couple who felt compelled to help clean up the mess left behind. The group Black Lives Matter organized the peaceful protest on Sunday afternoon.
And late breaking today, they released a list of demands for Oklahoma City leaders. KOCO's Patrina Adger joins us live tonight. She was there at that press conference. Patrina, they're calling on city leaders to take action immediately.
Yes, Black Lives Matter say in light of the recent police violence in our country, including the death of George Floyd, they have a list of demands for city and state leaders who they say are responsible for the crisis here in our state. Now, Reverend T. Cherie Dickerson was here on the city steps. She's one of the leaders of the Black Lives Matter organization. She listed about a dozen of those demands, including wanting apologies from both Oklahoma City Police Chief Wade Gorley and Mayor David Holt, who they say lack leadership that led to the aggressive actions by police toward protesters. They also want Gorley to resign. They want the immediate release of protesters arrested over the weekend for nonviolent offenses. They want the arrest and prosecution of the HOA president who blocked the delivery driver, Travis Miller Sr., from leaving a neighborhood after a delivery. And they also want to grant the clemency to be granted to Julius Jones, who's on death row.
We are tired of not being listened to. We are tired of not being treated with the dignity and respect that they expect. And we are tired of them not doing their jobs because they are here to protect and serve, but they are protecting and serving their own interests and not those of Oklahoma.
This is where a lot of the confrontations came to a head yesterday between protesters and police. The barricades are back. Protesters are not, at least not yet. We don't know if there's going to be more protests tonight, but for now, it's quiet. You mentioned the arrests. Authorities arrested 25 people Saturday night, 11 more Sunday night. Now, we only have information right now about the people who were arrested Saturday night, those 25 people. Allegations there include rioting, disorderly conduct, even aggravated assault and battery on a police officer.